One of the things we really come to appreciate about being stationed in Okinawa is how many opportunities it's given us to travel. Places that once felt so far away are suddenly just a short flight away. So this time we packed our bags and headed to Kyoto for a few days of exploring. Our first stop in Kyoto was one of the most recognizable shrines in Japan, Fushimi, Inari, Taisha. It's best known for the thousands of red torii gates that wind their way up Mount Inari. Many of these gates were donated by individuals and businesses as a symbol of gratitude or in hopes of prosperity. The trail takes you gradually up the mountain, and as you climb, you start getting some really beautiful views overlooking Kyoto. We came later in the day, close to sunset, which ended up being perfect. It wasn't too crowded, the weather was chilly, and we got to watch the sun start to go down over the city. And honestly, it was pretty incredible to be there experiencing all of this with our girls. The shrine is incredible, and honestly, this was a pretty incredible way to start our time in Kyoto, and we're so excited for what the next few days have in store for us. Next morning, we headed out from our hotel, which was literally right across the street from Kyoto Station. Having the station this close made getting around Kyoto so easy, especially traveling with the girls. We headed out to Arashiyama, and this ended up being one of my favorite areas of Kyoto. Even just walking through the neighborhood, it was beautiful. There were these quiet streets and these cute Japanese homes, and it eventually opened up to this river. And literally between the mountains, the water, and these traditional boats going by, it honestly didn't even feel real. Our next stop was Iwatayama Monkey Park, and getting there was definitely part of the experience. It was pretty long uphill climb, especially with kids, but there's a little playground along the way where they stopped for a break. Once we made it to the top though, it was completely worth it. The monkeys are roaming around freely, you can feed them from inside the feeding area, and the view overlooking Kyoto is incredible. This was easily one of my favorite stops of the trip and definitely worth the climb. Sometimes I wonder how much of living in Japan the girls will actually remember when they're older. They're still so young, and so much of this probably just feels normal to them. But I love knowing that these are the experiences they're growing up with, and getting to see places like this through their eyes makes living overseas so special for me too. After the monkey park, we stopped for brunch at Bread Espresso and Arashiyama Garden, and it was absolutely beautiful. We did have to wait about 30 minutes for the table, but the setting alone made it worth it. The building and gardens were gorgeous, and we ended up sitting outside, even though it was pretty cold. The tables had these heated kotatsu style blankets that you could pull over your lap once we sat down, and we were actually really warm and cozy. There was like a heated blanket or a heated table. It was such a simple thing, but also one of those little things that just feels very Japan. And this was so lovely. We really had a great time here, and the food and drinks were good too. We then spent the rest of the day exploring different shrines and temples, and Tenryuji was one of those places where you have to go. There's literally beauty in every single corner. The temples and the grounds were incredibly well kept, and inside you have to take your shoes off as a sign of respect and cleanliness, and you get to walk through, and there are traditional tatami rooms, and it just overlooks these beautiful gardens, and outside everything was so peaceful. There's just something about being in these spaces that just brings you peace and comfort. And then we made our way through the gardens and into the very famous Arashiyama bamboo grove. You've probably heard about it, seen it through TikTok and Instagram and other social media. It is just incredible to see it with your own eyes. You see these massive bamboo stalks towering above you in person, and it's just incredible. Next shrine on our itinerary was Arashino Nembutsuji, and this temple felt completely different. The grounds are filled with thousands of small stone figures that honor people who died in this area centuries ago, many without family to care for their graves. There's also a beautiful bamboo path tucked away towards the back of the temple, and after experiencing the much busier Arashiyama bamboo grove, I think this one was incredibly quiet and peaceful, and we practically had it to ourselves, so I would highly recommend you check this out if you want to go the path of less resistance. The next morning, we headed to Nara Park, and this was probably the stop the girls had been looking forward to the most. It didn't take long for us to learn just how serious these deer are about their food. My husband had crackers tucked away inside his jacket, and somehow one of them found him and bit him right in the butt. So funny. And apparently, he wasn't the only one having a little trouble with the deer. Just letting you know it's a thing. But once we got the hang of it, feeding them was so much fun. You can buy these special deer crackers called shika senbei throughout the park, and many of the deer have actually learned to bow for their treats. The girls have been looking forward to this even before we left for the trip. So watching them finally get to feed the deer and seeing how excited they were was really special. So a few things we learned: keep your extra crackers tucked away, feed them one at a time, and show the deer your empty hands when you're finished. They can definitely be persistent, but that was also part of the fun. next place we went to was Jonangu Shrine, and this was easily one of my favorite places we visited. The garden is known for these beautiful weeping plum trees, and we were lucky enough to visit just as they were starting to bloom. Walking underneath the branches with these little pink blossoms hanging all around us honestly felt so magical. We weren't quite there for the full bloom, but even seeing the beginning of it was stunning. This was definitely one of those places where the pictures and videos just don't do it justice. It was so pretty in person. We're so lucky and so blessed. There was this little moment towards the end of this day that really stuck with me, and it was when the girls were making their way across these stepping stones, taking their time with people waiting on both sides, and no one rushed them or seemed frustrated. Everyone just gave them the time they needed, and it's moments like that that reminds me of how grateful I am that my girls are getting to experience life here and be exposed to a culture that's different from the one we grew up in. Kyoto was absolutely beautiful, and this was definitely one of those trips that reminded me just how fortunate we are to have these opportunities while we're stationed in Okinawa. And technically, our Kyoto trip isn't over yet. We also visited team-led BioVortex Kyoto, and it was honestly incredible. So incredible that I decided to give it its own video. So that's what's coming next. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the bell notification to be notified of another video. Bye!